I.S.U.P.K.
And what I want to talk to you about is, every time we come out and speak to y'all about sticking together, our people have this frame of mind of talking about we preach hate. We preach hate. We tell our people to come together, and that's hateful. Why the black man don't say the Chinese hateful? They stick together.
Right.
Why the black man don't say the Arabs stick together? They stick together. Why they not called racist? Every other nation stick together but us. So if we come out here and tell you that you are special people and we got to stick together, y'all have this frame of mind that we all got to stick together. Give me Matthew 22 and 36. See, I hear a lot of people always say, Jesus had 2 new commandments, and that's love everybody and love thy neighbor. I hear all the Christians in the church say that. But don't nobody understand what Christ is talking about.
Right.
See, Christ is talking about the same thing I've been telling y'all about, us. I'm your neighbor. I'm that brother you're supposed to love. All Christ is doing is what we come out here to do. To let y'all know that the Old Testament speaks of the New Testament. And the New Testament talks about the Old Testament. There was no New Testament. So what you think they're quoting from? They are quoting from the Old Testament. But if you don't know the Old Testament and you pick up this New Testament, you're not going to understand what you're reading. So I'm going to start off at Matthew 22:36. And I'm going to show y'all that the Bible actually repeats itself. I'm going to show you who your neighbor is. I'm going to show y'all who y'all supposed to be loving. I know y'all really don't care because we come out here every day. But see, not only do we come out here to wake y'all up, we come out here because the Most High sent us.
Right.
See, in this Bible, you got to be chose. You don't do no choosing. The Most High do the choosing.
Right.
Start 22 and 36. Start off at 36.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Verse 37.
So the disciples was asking Christ, what's the greatest commandments in the law? Notice they said in the law. You know why they said this in the law? Because it's going to take you right back to the Old Testament. See, this the part that a lot of our folks miss in the Christian church. When they say, God said, love thy neighbor. They told you off the rip when you start off in 36, they're taking you back to the law. Read that again.
Go, come. Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. Which is the great commandment in the law?
Wait a minute. What is the great commandment in the law? That's what the disciples are asking Christ. So that means the law still exists because they're asking him about the law. See, our people like to roll with that the law is done away with. That way y'all can be homosexuals. Y'all can eat pork, shrimp, crab. Y'all don't want no law. Read.
Go, come. Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Jesus said unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart,
Christ said, first, you got to love the Most High with all your heart. Now we got to ask ourselves, what is love?
Right.
What is love? If love is some fuzzy feeling that you feel inside, or love is an action. See, when y'all come out here and y'all hear us talk, y'all say we talk hate. Y'all say that's an action. But we ain't putting no action. We ain't putting our hands on nobody. We ain't touching nobody. So we ain't even actually committing hate. The Most High said you love the Most High with all your heart. That's what Christ said. So now, hold that. We got to find out what is love is. Take me to 1 John 5 and 3. So once we find out what love is, because when the disciples asked him, what's the greatest commandments in the law? He said, first, you got to love the Most High with all your heart. So now we're going to see how you love the Most High in the Bible. Come on, let's go. Yeah. So that's why we got to find out what is love. Once we find out what love is, and notice, when we started this off with what is the greatest commandments in the law. They asked him Christ about the law. The law was only given to the children of Israel. The law was never given to any other nation. That's first of all. So they asked him Christ about the law. The law was only given to the children of Israel. So now, once we get to what the law is and how we must love the Most High, then we can get back to these police officers. See, these police officers, anytime when you join Esau's military, his police, our brothers have the frame of mind that they ain't one of us. They one of them. And they don't love their neighbor. You know what kills me about a lot of rappers out here? You hear rappers talk about sliding and killing their people all day.
Right.
Soon one of them police cops or somebody kill us of another nation, you hear these weak niggas talking about it's bigger than black and white. Why you ain't talking about sliding on them like you talk about sliding on your own people?
Right.
This is how you love the Most High. Read.
1 John 5 and 3.
Go.
1 John chapter 5, verse 8.
3.
3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Wait a minute. How do you love God according to the Bible?
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Say it louder. How do you love God in the Bible?
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Now go back to Matthew 22 and 36. So when the disciples asked Christ, what's the two great commandments? He said, love God with all your heart. I want all y'all Christians to understand this. To love the Most High, you have to keep his commandments. That's what the Bible says. That's how you show you love him. It's an action. Read.
Go.
38.
Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Jesus said unto them, thou shalt love the God, and he shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Read it again.
Jesus said unto them, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Verse 38. This is the first and great commandment. Verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
The second commandment was what?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Now, when we started off in this conversation, it started off talking about the law. That's what it talked about, the law. It started off talking about the law. So now when we drop down, in the same thing talking about the law, it tells you how you must love your neighbor. Now you got to find out who your neighbor is.
Right.
See, a lot of our people, we so weak niggas, we want to embrace everybody else, but don't want to embrace each other. We come out here every day trying to teach y'all how we got to stick together And niggas don't want to hear that. Niggas don't want to hear that until they being afflicted, and then that's when they want to come and stick together with their people. Right. Look at these athletes and these stars that go out and get women from other nations. Soon they get frowned on, and that other nation turn on them. They always come back to the black community. Right. O.J. Simpson, all these niggas do it. Charles Barkley. Anytime something happened to one of these Negroes, that's when they want to come back and embrace their people. That's when they want to come back and we stick together. Give me Mark 12 and 31. See, what we're going to come out here to show y'all that your neighbor is your own people. Everybody said, Christ said, love thy neighbor, but y'all skipped the whole top verse when they're talking about the law. They're talking about the law. So if they're talking about the law, the only people that was given the law were the children of Israel. Give me Mark 12:31. Read.
Mark chapter 12, verse 31. And second is like, namely this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Now notice, every time they talk, they are quoting the law. Now let's see what they're quoting from. Let's go to Leviticus 19, the Old Testament. See, we told y'all before, the Old Testament talks about the New Testament. The New Testament talks about the Old Testament. That's what's going on here. And if you don't know the Old Testament, stop trying to jump in the New Testament and check somebody when you don't know what y'all talking about.
Right.
See, what y'all looking at right now is the greatest show on earth. We come out here to wake y'all up, give y'all something where y'all can think about it.